Rob, 2 wins from 2 in 2022. What has pleased you about our start to the year?
I think we've been pretty consistent in terms of performances. So we talked about that we felt as though if we are competing in most aspects of the game for long periods, then we're going to put ourselves in a position to challenge or win a game, and that was certainly the case at the weekend.
It was a very seesaw affair against Bedford. The scores definitely went up and down both ways. Very tense towards the end. What positives do you take from that big win?
Well, I think the last 3 minutes showed the resilience of the group. We pretty much defended for a 3-minute set, and that's a long time in a game of rugby union. So to have defended for that long and just kept on in the line there, and then at the end they made half a break, and Perksy came up with a try-saving tackle. We'd already had one before in the game. Hugh Worthington and Jack Stafford made her on the line. So there's a couple there that would have been 7-point tries that the boys have managed to stop. We had one last week, Max Trimble did it. So if we can defend with that much resilience and determination, it's going to put us in a good place.
You spoke last week about delivering a full 80-minute performance. Was this a step in the right direction?
I think so, but I think it was more just in terms of quite a lot of the elements of the game went pretty well. So the set piece was good, the scrum was strong, line out was good. It makes a difference with Will Carrot-Smith there as well as Freddie, just because of his height. So with us able to put 2 pods up, it's difficult for them to throw two. So we must have pinched 4 or 5 of their balls clean. Brighty got one, and both those 2 guys got some balls back. So that makes a difference because obviously they don't get on the front foot then. Scrum was stable, and that gave us something to work from and stop them from getting momentum as well. So those were a good place to put us in, and we worked around the other parts of the game as well.
You mentioned Perksy before and his sort of try-saving tackle. Can you touch on the impact of the bench and the sort of message to these guys when they get on?
Yeah, I mean, the guys will always be disappointed they're not starting, and they'll all want as much game time as possible. For me, really, we encourage them just to have an impact when they get on there and add to what's going on. And from the stats that we do, obviously we're looking at them having an impact in the way that the guys that have started the game have, and they certainly did. So all the guys that came on added something, and that was really good. And you need that because as legs are getting tired, you need people to come on and freshen things up and add a little new dynamic into the game. And maybe in that sort of situation, someone else wouldn't have physically got there because they would have been tired, and Perksy had the energy to make that tackle. So yeah, they've got to get on there, they've got to add something, add value, not just get by, they've got to do something. And that's going to put them in good stead for the following week to start or to be in the squad again.
And the following week is upon us. Next up, it's a trip to Jersey on Saturday. What are the key focus points for this one?
We've got to back it up. We talked about Scottish, quite easy getting up for a derby game, and we need to do it again. We were in front of a big crowd and a lot of people here, so that helps the boys, no doubt. Now we'll have different challenges with the trip and the COVID protocol around it. Jersey's a difficult place to go and play. They play very well at home. They're traditionally very strong at home. Not many teams go there and win. But we know that if we can replicate the things that we've been doing, turn up with the right mentality towards the game, compete in the set piece, compete in terms of our defence and attack, it's going to give us a real good shot. And we know that we've got enough strength across our squad to do enough of a job if we put it together. So we feel as though we can score points. We're showing now that we can also stop other teams from doing that. So we've just got to keep rolling with it and keep on trying to improve our performance week by week.
This is our second overnight trip of the season. Can you sort of touch on how this trip in particular is quite unique and also obviously very challenging with COVID?
Yeah, I mean, quite often we've sort of travelled the day of the game and stayed over to allow the boys to have a bit of a social get together, but we felt as though that wasn't probably the right thing to do this year, and that actually the main job of the weekend is clearly playing the game, and it's not there for a social. We're playing in a professional league, so we're travelling the day before, which means for us people needing to finish work early and get to Heathrow. All the boys will be working on Friday afternoon, and we've got to get there for sort of 6 o'clock, so a lot of them are going to have to take half a day and get there, and then staying in a hotel, in different surroundings on the morning of a game, and I think you've got to get out of the mentality of this is nice. It's it's in a picturesque part of Jersey, so it's nice to be there. But we're there to do a job and try and win a game of rugby. So it's going to be focusing the boys in that. That's why we're there, and not to enjoy the trappings of Jersey and going for coffees and enjoying the breakfast and the hotel. We need to get focused on what we're going to do in the afternoon.
And we know one group of people who will be enjoying the coffee and the sights, and that is the Richmond supporters who are heading over for the trip. We hear there's quite a few. How important will they be? Yeah,
really important to us, and I think they were really important again for us last week. And Bedford always come with a lot of fans and are very vocal, but I thought we matched that, and they really got behind the boys, which was pleasing to see. And it's great for the lads when we go to an away game, and especially somewhere like Jersey, which will have a decent crowd. It's nice to have some familiar faces and to have a chat with them before the game and quickly after the bar afterwards, where the boys will be very quickly on their way back to the airport. But it's really nice for them to be there, and we hope we can deliver again for them.
Well, best of luck, Ali. Good luck on Saturday against Jersey.
Cheers, Tom.